You're listening to the Inner Goddess Rising podcast. My name is Ann Sison, and I'm here to help you kick your inner mean girl to the curb so you can attract the life you desire.
Hey, goddesses. So I am back this week, and I want to talk to you a little bit about getting to know your values. I want to know, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are at a core level? Deep down inside. You might think you do, but why do you do the things you do? What makes you tick? Where do your reactions and even your decisions come from? Do you make decisions? Realistically, do you make decisions and think about them beforehand, or do you react to things? Way back when I was a young mom, I felt the need to go back to school. I was super unhappy with my career, and I thought the only option was to learn more. I scoured the list of available majors in my local junior college booklet of classes, and I settled on psychology. The truth is, human beings and their minds absolutely fascinate me. I wanted to help people, also because I suffered from unhealed low self-esteem. Being a young mom who worked full-time, I only picked 2 classes. The 2 classes that I picked were the 2 most interesting to me, and they worked with my schedule. So I picked Intro to Psychology, and Creative Writing, and I passed both of them with A's. I was so proud of myself. You know that dopamine hit you get from doing a good job and succeeding at something? That encouraged me to sign up for more classes and to keep going. So I chose child psychology and some other class at that point. And the first day of child psychology, the wind was knocked right out of my sails. It required sitting in a daycare during the week at least one day, and that was impossible for me to do because I had a full-time job. There was no way. And guess what happened because of that? Yep, I dropped right out of school. In my mind, I needed this class to get the degree, and I couldn't complete the class, so what was the point of even trying? And I bet you're wondering how this has to do with values, right? Well, I thought school was the right thing to do because other people believed a college degree was the only way to be successful. That's what I was told, right? So it must be true. The truth is, if I believed a college degree was the only way to be successful, I would have found a way to make it work. Even more so, I probably would have gone off to college right out of high school. You guys, I didn't even know who I was in high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and I couldn't understand how I could be expected to pick out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, if I didn't even know what I wanted. So I didn't go. I also didn't know how to learn what I wanted to do either. I had no idea who I was, who I wanted to be, or how to learn who I wanted to be. The only thing I knew at the time was that I wanted that American dream of the husband, the kids, and the house with the picket fence. The value for me there was family. Now, family is still a value for me, but until I learned the rest of my values, I couldn't possibly succeed at anything, really, right? How can you? The problem was, as a shy and very unconfident kid, I was afraid to try new things. I was fearful of how other people would treat me if I tried and failed. I never wanted to look stupid. Anything where I had to be the center of attention was an absolute no for me. Gym class, I hated gym class because I hated changing in front of people, and then I hated playing the sport because what if I screwed up? And you know what? I was horrible at sports. Maybe if I would have practiced, I would have been better, but I was afraid. So how do you learn who you are if you never do anything? The one thing I was interested in was singing, and I was good at it. Until one day in the 7th grade, here we go with a middle school story again, right? I chose the wrong song for a talent show. I chose a song that everybody else wanted me to sing, and I knew in my heart that it was too high for me. There was no way I could do it. I didn't want to practice it. I was afraid of screwing up, but I got on the stage anyway for some reason, and guess what? Crashed and burned on stage in front of everyone. Parents, classmates, everyone. That pretty much knocked my singing dream goodbye. See ya! It literally took me through my 30s to learn who I was becoming and what I wanted in my life. And until the age of 44, to become completely comfortable sharing who I am with the world. You guys, that's a year ago. It's common for values to change as we grow and learn about ourselves. What you want is going to change as you change. And that's totally okay. It means you're growing as a person and you're learning things in life. What I recommend to my clients is to look at the different areas of your life, like relationships, love, physical environment, health, spirituality. There's more, but think about the different areas of your life. Rate each one according to how happy you are or how confident you feel. Is there room for growth in a particular area? Now find a list of common values, and you could Google any values list. Values are pretty common. Brene Brown has a great one out there, a list that I have a printout that I give to my clients of. And then take the values list and circle the ones that you feel are the most important to you. You can have 10, you can have 40, it doesn't matter. It's your list. Then think about each category in your life, like relationships or your physical environment, things like that. Assign your top 5 to 10 values to each category. And then look at the categories and see if there's any that share the same values. If yes, that's a good value to start with. I know that family is important to me, so it shows up in a couple of different categories for me. It's likely, when thinking of how confident and happy you are in each area of your life, you can ask yourself questions around why you think it could be improved. What is or has been stopping you from growing in that area? If it's your inner critical voice, that mean girl, ask yourself if what she's saying is really true. It's likely that you will find that fears come up for you. Of course they will. You might even find that you feel stuck and don't know how to move forward. That's what I can help you with, the getting unstuck part. I can help you with the things that come up for you and with finding new ways to go about growing in each area. This is something we talk about a lot in my Facebook group. It's normal to have areas to work on. You're human. I'm human. No one's perfect. I always have things I'm working on because it's a process and it takes time. And as we grow, our values grow. Remember that. So values grow, values change, you grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's what I heard from Rachel Hollis. I love her. The thing is, once you know who you are at your core and you commit to it, the rest of your life sort of seems to fall in place. The world shows you what you focus on, meaning what we perceive is what we see. Think about how you feel on a Monday morning. Do you dread the day? Do you wake up cursing Monday and think, Mondays are horrible, so here we go? If you look at it as a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. What you focus on is what grows. That's the law of attraction. I have proof of this in my life with a little story I'm going to share with you. After a particularly harmful relationship I was in ended, and I decided to really get to know myself. I decided I was going to date myself. I made a commitment to learning what I wanted in my next relationship because I had a list of things I know for sure now I don't want. So what I did was I made a long list of all those things that I don't want, and then I flipped it and made it into a list of things that I do want or I did want. Looking back now, I can see that was a list that had a ton of my values on it. So I promised myself at that point that I would settle for nothing less than what was on that list. I focused on growing in other areas of my life and getting to know myself. I had never really done that, and it felt so good. It only took a little while before the universe sent me a man who I didn't seek out. Literally, you guys, I was sitting on a train going to a convention in Chicago that I did not want to go to, but I had to for my job. And I was reading this book. In the foreword of the book, it was this woman describing her relationship with her husband. And their relationship started later in life, and the love she described between the two of them was out of this world to me. I couldn't even imagine it, but I knew that's what I wanted. And in that moment, that's when I decided I was not going to try to find anybody anymore. I was done with dating. If the right person was meant for me, they would find me. You guys, this is probably 4 or 5 months after I made that list. And that list was a page long of writing all my values of what I wanted in a relationship. And in that moment of decision that I would not settle for anything less than what I just read in that book, the man I'm married to now sent me a message on Facebook, and I hadn't heard from him in over 2 years. And all he said was, "Hey lady, how's it going?" And we're married now. So getting clear on your values and getting clear on what's important to you, and then standing in your truth, that is the key to letting your inner goddess out. That's the key to feeling that goddess energy. It was the act of getting to know myself, my needs, my desires, and what I would no longer tolerate, and committing to it and deciding. That was what gave me the most solid and loving relationship I have ever experienced. Can you see now where I say this is such an important step? Get to know yourself. Even if you think you know now, you might not know. You can begin with my Inner Goddess meditation. Download it and take 5 minutes to go within yourself and have a conversation with her. We all have an inner goddess, and yours is waiting to tell you everything you want to know. The link is in my show notes. Download it and then head over to my Facebook group. That also is called Inner Goddess Rising. Talk to you all next week. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review it and share with everyone you know who might benefit from it. I look forward to seeing everyone in our Facebook group, Inner Goddess Rising. Have a great week.